From 2015 to 2020, Adidas was absolutely dominating the comfort shoe segment by introducing a miracle foam cushioning called Boost. It became the biggest tell if a shoe was going to be comfortable or not by determining if it had Boost or didn't. And it became so popular that Adidas simply just put it in almost every shoe they were releasing. The Ultra Boost, the NMD, pretty much every Yeezy were all amongst some of the most popular shoes with Boost. However, somewhere in that timeline, Adidas eventually got complacent. Other brands started entering the market with new foams that were softer and lighter and more comfortable. Boost suddenly was no longer people's go-to. So, just a couple years ago, Adidas introduced Light Strike. That's the exact foam that you find in one of the most popular shoes that Adidas currently sells, the Evo SL. And because they've pretty much been putting this new foam into all of their different shoes, everybody just assumed this was going to be the replacement for Boost cushioning. But just a few months ago, Adidas released this shoe with Hyperboost cushioning. It's a new foam compound from Adidas that absolutely destroys the old Boost. It is way lighter, way more responsive, and ultimately more comfortable. It's a true evolution of what felt like absolute pillows from back in the day. But the Hyperboost Edge from Adidas is designed to be a performance running shoe. So what happens when Adidas decides to use their latest foam cushioning technology to make the most comfortable shoe possible? Well, you get this, the Adidas Hyperboost Euphoria. And it is one of the most interesting shoes I have tried in a long time. In fact, they're using technology in this shoe that I have never seen implemented in this way. And to make this as simple as possible, I think it boils down to three major key details about this pair of shoes that makes it so compelling. But before I get into that, let me give you some of the release details about this pair of shoes because as of right now, we don't know all that much. So the price point of these and the exact release date are currently unknown. They are supposed to be dropping this summer. I mean, Adidas has been teasing them pretty heavily and it's kind of been ramping up. We've seen more and more different colorways and more celebrities wearing them. They even released a custom World Cup pack for the players from each different team. But the World Cup ends in the middle of July. So unless they plan on releasing those after the World Cup, they better hurry up. Now, what we do also know is that there's going to be two different versions of the Euphoria model. There's a more simplistic mesh version, which we've seen quite a bit, and then there's this one, which is a lot more technical, and I'll get into why it's so mind-blowing in a minute. For sizing, I have my true to size, and it fits like a damn glove. The fit is actually pretty different from the Hyperboost Edge, although I would say both of them are true to size. So that's what I'm going to recommend to you. And if I had to guess as for a price point, considering that the Hyperboost Edge is $200, I assume these are going to cost less, roughly $150 to $180. And why I think these are going to cost less in comparison to these brings me to my first major point about this shoe. It uses a different Boost compound. That's right, we're getting another type of Boost. So what you have in the Hyperboost Edge is called Hyperboost Pro, and this one is just Hyperboost. You'll notice on the inside of the Hyperboost Edge, there you go, that is the naming, and then on this pair, it just says Hyperboost, and I can confirm in hand they do feel different. Now, visibly, I will say, and especially from a distance, they do look practically identical. Like, you probably cannot tell on camera. But when you look at them up close, you will notice some more differences. First one being from a visual standpoint is that this regular Hyperboost is more textured. Hyperboost Pro has a lot more of a smooth feeling. In terms of softness of the compound itself, it's also very, very similar. When you squeeze it, they do feel roughly the same. However, the Hyperboost Euphoria is just slightly softer than these, and that is indicated in the durometer test, which is a device that measures the softness of a material. And these clock in just slightly softer than these. On foot, it's also pretty similar in terms of softness. However, the Euphoria is more comfortable. And that's pretty crazy considering how comfortable this pair of shoes is, but it also does make sense considering that the Euphoria's entire point of existing is to be a lifestyle casual shoe, whereas the Hyperboost Edge is a performance runner. But the overall comfort of a shoe is not just determined by the softness of the materials, and there's a few reasons why these things are so incredibly comfortable. First off, just generally speaking, the cushioning does feel great. It is soft, it is squishy, it's relatively lightweight, and it's not so soft to the point where it just feels mushy. Like, it still is a Boost compound, meaning there is some bounce to it, but overall it's easily a pair of shoes that I would happily wear if I know I'm going to be on my feet for an extended period of time doing a lot of walking. I would be more than happy to rock these things. Now, the shape of the midsole itself itself also adds to the comfort tremendously, especially with walking around. You can see it's slightly more rounded at the back, especially in comparison to the Hyperboost Edge, which just makes the heel-to-toe transition when walking feel practically seamless. It also has just a much wider profile, which makes them feel a lot more stable. Like if you compare them to the Hyperboost Edge, you could definitely tell there's a lot more width to these things. And I think that added stability is a huge deal, because when you have such a large, huge stack of soft foam, that can often lead to instability. But just the width that these things have, it solves that problem. One of the most genius things which adds to this shoe's comfort is actually underneath the perforated insole. And that's when you'll see that they actually designed the footbed to have no strobel board. Now, strobel board is typically a firm material, or sometimes even a plastic plate that's attached to the top of the midsole, and then the upper is then sewn to it. And it usually gives a pair of shoes more structure and more energy transfer, which is why the Hyperboost Edge has a strobel board. They did actually cut out a small little circular hole in the heel just so you can feel some more of that cushioning, because for the most part, when you don't have a strobel board in a shoe, you're walking directly onto the foam, which makes them feel a whole lot softer. You don't have that hard feeling material getting in the way. So when you're stepping around in the Euphoria, you really feel all of that cushioning, and it feels great. It's kind of like back in the day when people used to remove the insoles of their Yeezys to feel all of that boost cushioning underfoot. So yeah, generally speaking, I really like the way that these things feel because of that addition. But one very common complaint that people had with the Hyperboost Edge was the lack of breathability, which brings me to my next major key detail about this Euphoria, which solves that breathability problem in one of the craziest ways. The entire lattice structure on both sides of this shoe is the exact same 3D printed technology that Adidas used for their Climacool 3D model. But instead of just a solid 3D printed pair of shoes, they've actually added it to a multi-material sneaker, which I have never seen before. It is so incredibly rare in the industry to have 3D printed components on a traditional sneaker. Like usually it's one or the other. You get a fully 3D printed pair of shoes or just a regular made sneaker with multiple different types of material. And the benefit of this is actually incredible. You get a lot of strength and structure from this mesh side panel, but it opens the shoe up to be so much more breathable. This 3D printed material has huge holes in it. It's a very wide base mesh. And underneath that, you have some soft fabric on the inside with some huge cutouts to allow airflow through. And then just on top of that, there's some extremely thin mesh that's just placed over, which is exactly the same material that they have on the other version of the Euphoria, although those look slightly more covered up than this one. I guess they have to make that mesh a little bit thicker because they don't have the 3D printed protective layer. But my third and final major key detail about this pair of shoes are the small, genius design details. Some of them are slightly irregular, but ultimately lead to these being just maximum comfort. For starters, the outsole. So it almost appears as just 3 lines of traction pattern underneath. You've got 2 big craters on the inside actually etched into the boost cushioning itself. And these divots, I assume, are at least to some degree to remove some weight from this pair of shoes without shrinking the stack of foam. These aren't ultra lightweight, but definitely on the lighter side when it comes to like a casual lifestyle sneaker. The tongue is shaped really nice, so it kind of wraps around your ankle. It's also very thin, and most importantly, it is gusseted, meaning it's actually attached to the shoe itself, so it's not gonna roll over to the side, which is a huge complaint people had with the Evo SL. The heel area is nice and soft feeling, which is again going to lend to the comfort. They also have this weird mesh cutout around the back, which I thought was just a design detail, but the material actually is thinner down there, so I imagine that adds to breathability and the overall soft feeling of these things as well. It also felt like it stopped heel slippage, which I thought was pretty cool. As far as the stack of foam itself, it looks massive. Like it looks even bigger than the Hyperboost Edge, but I think it is roughly the same, and it's just the shape that kind of makes it look taller. If I had to guess, it would be around that 45mm stack height, just like the Hyperboost Edge. So ultimately, the question really remains, is Boost back? Are we going to have a renaissance of our beloved boost cushioning? Well, Adidas certainly believes so, and the Hyperboost Edge was only just the beginning. We now have those awesome trail shoes with Hyperboost cushioning, an affordable Zen Boost runner, which is under $100, and of course these two as the new flagships. The Hyperboost Euphoria is not only one of the most comfortable shoes I have ever tried, but it also looks really, really good with tech that is just fascinating. I'm a huge fan of this one. I just hope that the price point isn't as crazy as the Hyperboost Edge. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Would you wear these? And of course, like always, I'm going to throw another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.